One of the biggest lies about might make you a more cool person. Again, this person has already received notoriety and attention. He appeared in Transition Story. I transitioned to a girl in a 2020 trend. And clear on Instagram all these years later that he was planning on ending his life. A transgender activist really stopped being paid after appearing in a United Air. How would I know you're serious about me if you're not taking care of me? Anybody can take this down. Anybody can take this down.
Matchup in this one with two incredible talents going head-to-head.
And we've been really spoiled with these cards that we get to watch. The league today has as much talent at the 1 and 2 as it ever has.
So the opening lineup for the Suns. Paul and Booker, the talented backcourt pair. Durant is out there with Jay, and it's Ayton in at the 5. Now here's Antetokounmpo, lock at 6. And it's 6 back by KD. To Jay. And it goes
the elevated playmaking of Durant. Passes like that really bring the team closer together.
And the latest now from our sideline reporter, David Aldridge. David, it's all yours. Take it away.
Mike Budenholzer and I got a chance to talk for a bit. He's looking for his guys to put up a terrific performance tonight, especially at the defensive end. He said we want to use our length and athleticism to protect the rim, make it hard for shooters to get clean looks. This is the first meeting of the season between these two guys. We'll see how it comes out.
All right, D, we appreciate it. They're focused on defense, Greg. We'll see how it plays out.
It's going to come down to persistence. And in this league, you have to be very quick to rotate when you're in help.
Playing solid defense can turn the game in their favor very quickly.
Antetokounmpo trying to break loose. Lopez, no luck. And it's Paul with the ball for the Phoenix Suns. Here's Jay. Here's Ayton. Foul in the act of shooting. Gets the bucket anyway.
Such strength on these finishes. When you foul Ayton, you really have to hit him to prevent the basket. Well, many thought the Suns would let Ayton walk as a restricted free agent, but they had no hesitation in matching the offer to bring him back. Looks like he'll be a Sun for the foreseeable future.
Now here. 25.5 points a game. Ball against Howard. Paul passes to Jay. Back to Paul. The wide open look for Durant. Trying to come right back with a 3 of his own. It's no good. Now Owens. His last outing with 20 points. Out of bounds. It will go to the Suns. The Suns have gone 2 of 5 here, making 40% so far to start out the game. Holiday against Paul. Shoots. And it's off the back rim. No good.
You almost have to assume he's going to knock those down when he is that open.
That ties it up.
You didn't think Holiday would back down inside, did you?
And that outstanding drive and finish brought to you by Mobile One.
It's all about the ability to get 2 feet in the paint, whether it's creating for a teammate or for yourself.
Antetokounmpo against Paul. Fires the 3. Owens, no good. And it's Paul with the ball for Phoenix. And again, it's the Suns missing. Brown is with it. Now guarded by Aiton. And that one, good.
So strong. The contact.
Phoenix has gone 0-3 from three-point land. Nothing yet going outside. The drive by Paul to end the run. Oh, and he takes it off the glass.
His best efficiency was tonight. Sometimes that's how it goes.
Antetokounmpo finds Holiday. Back to Antetokounmpo. Over Paul. It's deflected. And he recovers it. 5 on the clock. Over in the corner. Antetokounmpo. Jay with the rebound.
And imagine how good they'll look if he can start to chip in a bit more offensively.
Here's KD. And that one goes long. Milwaukee in the lead. Middleton outside. Three-pointer. Rebound by the Suns. Aiton's got 5 rebounds tonight. Here's Jay, and he finishes it off with a one-handed jam.
You create shots as easily as Paul does for his teammates. He is just a great setup guy.
To the paint, and he makes it look easy, tucking it hard with one hand.
He finds a shooter in motion and is confident he can thread him with the lead pass. Well done.
Outside, KD passes it to Jay. Nice ball movement by Phoenix. Aiton sends the pick for Booker. Over Lopez. Here's Jay. Rebound, Milwaukee. And going against Phoenix for their first meeting of the season.
It's not often we get to see this matchup, but it is a doozy to deal with them. Just two powerhouse teams facing each other.
And who knows, if you want to look all the way ahead to the finals, it's possible these teams to see each other there. So both teams looking to make a statement in their first meeting of the season.
Phoenix with the ball after the basket by Milwaukee. And he's...
That's crazy. This one. What you doing that for? Baby. What's today? Tuesday? No, today Friday. She's probably gonna go to the party again.
He's 7 to 9 feet tall, these skeletons. Oh my god. And like these skulls were like double that of our skulls. This is where it gets crazy. Paiute people. It was the granddaughter of the chief wrote a book. And in this book she talks about the Paiute people for years and years were at war with the giant people. And these giant people lived in the mountains in Nevada, and they had long red hair and they were cannibals. Like they would come and kill Paiutes and then bring them up to the mountains and eat them. And so they're at constant war with these giant people, Paiute people. Yeah. Giants. I want to talk to you about giants. Whoa! Have you heard of Lovelock, Nevada? No. They found a cave called the Lovelock Cave. They went in there. They came across many skeleton remains.
Where your shipping address, types etc. Where all your tabs go, everywhere.
People always want to know about subjects in that we have mentioned. One of those happens to be about giants. There are giants, yes. These things were destroying the net. The boys went to see their father to acquire weaponry to use it against these things that were destroying the net. And the father did give them the weapons, and they destroyed the AIDS. In many of the presentations we make here at the Network Traditional Teaching, people always want to know about subjects in that we have mentioned at various times. And one of those happens to be about giants. There are giants, yes, but the way that the Net teach about the Yates, the big fear, the word itself, Yates, Ye means fear. When it's big fear, it's soul. So the word Yates means big fear. The teaching that goes along with it is that it goes back to the two boys that went to visit their father, and their purpose was to go to their father to get weapons to come and the things that are fearful and destructive. These things were destroying the net. The boys went to see their father and to acquire weaponry that would allow them to use it against these things that were destroying the net. And the father did give them the weapons and that. And the boys returned and they destroyed the big fears, the things to fear. Yea, so. But over the years, because of the way that the story is told, many times we get the wrong impression that these were actual physical beings that were out there doing destruction and destroying the people in a physical way. It is in a physical way, but it also is the emotional, the mental, and the spiritual way that people are destroyed. And so the Yei soul is the big fear. And the big fear in everybody's life is different. None of us actually experience the same type of fear. Some of us might be fearful of darkness. We can go out, some of us, and we are very fearful of getting near an edge of a ledge of a cliff or something. We are fearful of heights. We are fearful of darkness. We are fearful of something. But not all of us are fearful of the same thing. So the things that we fear, the traditional teaching of our people is our individual fears and that actually can destroy us. If it destroys us, it can destroy our families, it can destroy our communities, it can destroy whole societies of people. And so these are the real giants. And those things that we allow into our lives, the destructive types of behavior, behavior, the destructive type of thinking, and the destructive type of things of doing. And these are the gates. So these are the things to fear. So we have.
I said I'd never join. Not living on its own would be too hard.
Lovelock, Nevada, 1911. Inside a narrow cave, two miners are searching for rat guano, a key ingredient in making fertilizer. But as they head deeper into the darkness, they make an unexpected discovery. They find more than 40 human skeletons, some of which are abnormally large.
In 1911, giant brains were found in Lovelock Cave. Large human skulls and skeletons that measured 7 and 8 feet in height, which for ancient man would have been rather significant.
This caused a sensation. One of the strange things about the discoveries in Lovelock Cave is that the skeletons were often found with red hair. So,
But you know the Lakers number 7?
Different kind of people than the Native Americans from the area.
Crazy.
Although many of the large bones found in Lovelock Cave were unfortunately lost to time, for decades, a number of skulls were preserved at a local museum.
Until about 10 years ago, there were 4 very large skulls on display inside the museum. These were then removed and ceremonially buried. What's also interesting is that over 100,000 artifacts were excavated from Lovelock Cave. The strange thing is that many of the artifacts were huge. They have giant-sized sandals, like a 15-inch long shoe, which is size 29 US, which would fit someone who's about 9 feet tall. And even pieces of clothing, which was so big, looked as though they were worn by giants.
The idea that giant bones were actually found in a cave in Nevada may sound far-fetched to some. But the truth is that there were many such discoveries reported during the Wild West.
In the southwestern United States, there's several very strange stories of these dead corpses or skeletons being found regularly. In terms of the reports of giants, this is a compelling motif. People were fascinated by this idea of a giant race that had lived here previously. And this connects to a lot of biblical beliefs that tended to be fairly literal back in the day. The Bible talks about back when there was a race of giants that lived among the earth. And so, for many people in the Wild West, when you see some skeletons dug out of the earth that seem to corroborate this was an affirmation of literal biblical beliefs as well.
Is it really possible that a race of giants once inhabited the Old West, as the numerous discoveries reported throughout the 1800s suggest? And if so, was evidence of these giants recovered in Lovelock Cave? Perhaps a clue can be found by examining the history of the indigenous Paiute people who have inhabited the Nevada desert for centuries.
A woman named Sarah Winnemucca, who was a descendant of Chief Winnemucca of the Paiutes, wrote a book in the 1800s and recounted her people's battle with this race of giants, the Sitika. Now, what's fascinating about this is that she says that it was an actual battle, not part of tribal lore or mythology, but something that actually occurred. The Sitika were red-haired and lived in the mountains near the Paiute Nation, and they were cannibals. According to the Paiutes, they naturally grew tired of being cannibalized, and they confronted these giants. A war was started between the giants and the Paiute people. For 3 years, they battled one another. The last of the giants holed themselves up in the Lovelock Cave, and the Paiute people stuffed the openings with a bunch of brush and firewood and lit the place on fire. And that was the end
of the red-eared giant animals. What's also interesting is that when the discovery was made in 1911 at Lovelock Cave, they also found evidence of extreme burning, which took place near the entrance to the cave. So this matches the story almost precisely. And again, we have evidence of red hair because Sarah Winnemucca Hopkins actually saved some of the hair and sewed it into a mourning dress, which she used when she gave lectures. And so the
For many, the evidence in support of the Mayan story about the red-headed giants is compelling. Not only because of what was found in Lovelock Cave, but also because there have been reports of giant bones being discovered in other places throughout the western Nevada desert.
if you go back and look through the records, you can find numerous accounts of bones, skeletons, and giant-sized artifacts that have been found in this area. In 1904, it was reported that an 11-foot tall skeleton was found. And then we have accounts in 1931 of an 8.5-foot skeleton that was reported. And so the fact is, you have the stories, you have the skeletal evidence, and you have the artifacts, and even the legends that prove this was a real story of giants in this area.
To be sure, the Pies believe this to be a historical truth. People might dismiss him as just folklore, but again, who's to say that it didn't happen? Of course there were ethnic conflicts, of course there were wars, and of course people tend to remember this. So this has been a really important part of many, many people's historical beliefs and how they think about their own history.
I used to pre-rinse dishes because my old detergent didn't actually get them clean. But new Cascade Platinum Plus has me doing dishes differently.
With double the Dawn grease fighting power and double the scrubbing power, so you can load this and get this. New Cascade Platinum Plus. Dare to dish differently.
This is a map of the United States, a country full of natural wonders. To the south is the state of Arizona, which you can see in red. Located at the top left corner and highlighted in yellow is a yawning geological feature known as the Grand Canyon. This spot has been the site of many shocking discoveries. Located in northern Arizona, the Grand Canyon is a mile-deep gorge. Scientists believe the canyon formed between 5 and 6 million years ago, when the Colorado River began to cut a channel through layers of rock. Since the last ice age, humans have lived in and around the canyon. Spanish explorers were the first Europeans to reach the Grand Canyon in the 1540s. President Benjamin Harrison established the Grand Canyon as a forest preserve in 1893, and it was designated as a United States National Park in 1919. The Grand Canyon is found in northern Arizona, northwest of Flagstaff. The canyon is over 270 miles long, up to 18 miles wide, and a mile deep, making it one of the world's largest canyons. This natural landmark formed approximately 5 to 6 million years ago as a result of Colorado River erosion cutting a deep channel through layers of rock. The Grand Canyon contains some of the world's oldest exposed rock. The mile-high walls show a cross-section of the Earth's crust dating back nearly 2 billion years. These rock layers have allowed geologists to study evolution over time. The Vishnu Basement Rocks, the canyon's oldest known rocks, can be found near the bottom of the inner gorge. The Vishnu rocks formed approximately 1.7 billion years ago when magma hardened and connected this region, which was once a volcanic ocean chain, to the northern American continent. Archaeologists have discovered ruins and artifacts from people who lived nearly 12,000 years ago, during the last ice age, when mammoths, giant sloths, and other large mammals roamed North America. Prehistoric humans first settled in and around the canyon. Large stone spear points demonstrate early human occupation. Hundreds of small split-twig figurines dating from 1000 to 2000 BC have been discovered in canyon wall caves. The figurines are in the shape of deer and bighorn sheep. Anthropologists believe that the figurines were left in caves by prehistoric hunters as part of a ritual to ensure a successful hunt. The canyon was once inhabited by ancestral Pueblo people, who were followed by Paiute, Navajo, Zuni, and Hopi tribes. The Havasupai now consider the Grand Canyon to be their ancestral home. The Havasupai have lived in and around the canyon for more than 800 years, according to tribal history. One of the mysteries of the Grand Canyon that have shocked many people is the claim of cursed artifacts. Maybe next time you're visiting, take care not to take anything away from the canyon. But of course, that would be good for the canyon anyway. This is how it all began. Don McGuire, a trader, was crossing the Colorado River on his way through Arizona in 1879. He came across Emma Lee. Lee gave McGuire a beautiful Navajo blanket in exchange for some of his needed goods. But she warned him about the cloak's dark past. The cursed blanket, according to the woman, brought nothing but misfortune to her husband prior to his untimely death. McGuire, who was clearly not superstitious, left the canyon the next day. McGuire detailed his 100 calamities over the next 2 years, all of which ended only after he lost the blanket. Such stories about cursed Native American relics are common in the Grand Canyon. In fact, park rangers frequently receive letters from tourists requesting the return of stolen artifacts from sacred grounds. Pottery, for example, is frequently taken from Native American burial sites before being anxiously returned to the national park a short time later. According to park rangers, the thief's reasoning is always the same. They have experienced extreme bad luck, plagues, and other illnesses since picking up the stolen artifacts. Is this true or a myth? We might never know. Another kind of shocking mystery associated with the Grand Canyon is the constant discovery of skeletal remains all over the canyon. Such heinous discoveries understandably are keeping the local police department, the Coconino County Sheriff's Office, very busy. The county formed the Cold Case Squad to investigate mysterious disappearances, unattended deaths, and homicides, as well as identify.
I should beat your ass. I stepped in piss.
By remains. One of the cases the unit is currently investigating is a 1975
I'm very sick, son. I was just playing, babe. But I did step and piss.
The official path to the Grand Canyon is unknown, as are the identities of the victims, whose deaths included accidents, suicides, quick murder, and long-term torture. In an attempt to create an identity, some of the victims have been given names like Little Miss X and Valentine Sally. To this day, the Cold Case Squad is still piecing together crimes that occurred nearly a century ago, in the hopes of bringing closure, if not to the loved ones, then to the souls that roam the grounds of the canyon. If you're planning to be one of over 5 million people that visit the Grand Canyon every year, you want to be very careful. With that high number of skeletal remains, should it be surprising that there have been numerous reports of ghost sightings in the Grand Canyon? Some of the popular ghosts reportedly sighted in the Grand Canyon include the Wandering Woman. When the sun goes down, the canyon trails become dim. It's said that the Wandering Woman will appear walking along the rim. Many visitors have reported seeing her.
Donkeys and dead without you. All the exhibits done.
Uncontrollably, as her spirit wanders along the rim, down the North Kaibon Trail in search of her long-lost family. According to legend, she committed suicide in the 1920s after learning that her husband and son had been killed in a hiking incident. The lodge burned down in 1926, with a stint been rebuilt. Many employees of the North Kaibon Trail received awareness of what road in a small town. She always wears a scarf around her neck. When one surprised forest ranger looked up one day, she was standing in the doorway to his quarters. Another young ranger recalls her weeping outside his cabin, and mistaking it. Heard the same uncontrollable sobbing the next night. He opened his door and found no one there. The same sobbing drove him outside to the trailhead the next night.
Is it just me or is it cold?
Sent shivers up his spine. The white shimmer of light, which he described
cameras resembling a cloud almost waiting there. In March, the slot of teams no longer visible. Instead, he told another manager about his experience. He was told he had seen a lucky report. There is also the story of the ghosts of the missing Glenn and West Line vanished on a honeymoon trip to the Grand Canyon in 1828.
In the NBA. Mitchell again.
The Grand Canyon was a hero-making run back then. There were no commercial literatures available. The rapids were for experienced explorers.
Mitchell again. Knocks it down. Donovan Mitchell.
The Hines made a successful run.
See, when you messing up and cooking it, you're fucking with the wrong niggas. You need to be fucking with me.
They spent a few days stopping at the Grand Canyon village on the south rim a month into the trip. During that time, they spoke with the Denver Post reporter, believing that the final destination.
Then we went to get the alcohol, chop that joint up, stop playing.
Ominously, Jesse admired girls' shoes with their departing civilization again. He said it was an avocado. Wondering how they were wearing their shoes again. A massive search for the couple garnered national attention and yielded no results. Did they abandon the scow and try the treacherous hike out to the rim? Did they fight and kill each other? As the story progresses, the boatmen add to the intrigue with sensational revelations, such as an old woman claiming to be Bessie reappearing on the river years later. There is also the sighting of the ghosts in the Grand Canyon caverns, which some visitors still record today. Walter Peck is officially recognized to have discovered the Grand Canyon caverns in 1927, but a group of Hualapai tribal members may have discovered them by accident a decade later. When Peck discovered the cave, two bodies were discovered buried in what appeared to be a hole in the ground, but was actually the entrance to the caverns. Years later, in the 1970s, Gary Ringsby, the then general manager, was said to have hung himself in the bunkhouse. Both the bodies, as well as Ringsby and Peck, are said to haunt the caverns today and have been the targets of many paranormal investigators over the years. The most common sighting is of a man thought to be Walter Peck's ghost at the top and bottom of the elevator shaft, opening the doors at different times. It's also been reported that the Indians' whispering sounds can frequently be heard in the caverns and at night in darkness. If you're feeling adventurous, or simply want to explore the paranormal, you can book a stay in the heavily haunted El Tovar Hotel, located on a bluff just 20 feet beside the river. Thanks to these paranormal sightings, the historic property of Grand Canyon is one of the most intriguing destinations in the country. So if you want to go out, the strange occurrences at the Hotel over the years.